what to do in August, September, and even October when there's a ton of eggplant, tomatoes, and zucchini in the store, and that's to make ratatouille. But they want you to salt the eggplant for at least 30 minutes. So what I'm going to do is just cut it into slices, and then we'll just sprinkle the salt on it and leave it to sit and absorb the salt. So the recipe I am using is loosely based on one from the Washington Post that I just got online. You can see the paper over in the top right hand corner right now. And it's a slow cooker recipe, which is great for summertime because it's so hot outside. You usually don't want your oven on all day. But some of the changes I'm making are, I'm following the recipe right here, which she says to, I just soaked the eggplant with some salt, and then I rinsed it to get the salt off, and now we're going to just lay it on paper toweling to dry it off. And that's to remove the excess moisture. And I'm adding double the garlic, they said, because I just really love garlic, and especially in ratatouille. So I'm just smashing it to help remove the peels, and then I'm going to mince it up. And now the slow cooker recipe, I think that's a great idea. And I'm using pretty much the main ingredients. I did add a lot more tomatoes and peppers just because I have so many of those right now. And there's also zucchini and eggplant, some herbs. Another thing I did different is she said to add basil and thyme. I added an herb de Provence mix, which has thyme, lavender, and maybe oregano. I forget what's in it. But I added that and then some dried basil. So another thing I'm doing is I just don't feel like the slow cooker is going to give it the flavor that you would get if you were to cook everything in over the flame. So I'm starting the recipe, and I know that's the whole point of a slow cooker, is you just throw everything in and it magically, 8 hours later you've got this wonderful meal, but you just don't get the flavor when you don't saute everything in some olive oil first. So I am going to do that and then still use the slow cooker so I don't have to have the oven on all day. And I got these lovely tomatoes and onions from my parents' farm in Wisconsin. And that's what I think inspired this recipe. I did have to go to the groceries to buy these smaller zucchini, but they're still pretty affordable and fresh this time of year. We just didn't have any left on the farm, I don't think. All right, now I've put in some of the vegetables, and now I'm going to do the zucchini. And can you see how much blackened the bottom is? I'm just leaving that. It adds some flavor, I think. I found some smoked salt that I threw in, and this is the tomato paste. I don't think is traditional, but was added to this recipe because it's done in a slow cooker, so I'm adding it anyway. Now this is just, I think, a smaller size crock pot. I was really worried that it wouldn't even fit all this in, but it seemed to okay. To clean that black stuff, I've got this great little screen called a Flexi Scour by Pumi that works like magic. It's one of my favorite things. I like it better than the steel wool, because steel wool just hurts my fingers like fiberglass. So this just works. It can scratch things. That's the only downside, so you wouldn't want to use it on Teflon. All right, so ratatouille's done. And I've had it with eggs, with bread. Tomorrow I hope to have some pasta with it. It's great with fish, chicken, so many things. I hope you enjoyed.